Last night, I was complaining to some friends saying, I'm working on this book and it's bringing up some difficult things for me. This isn't going to go well. Oh dear. It's hard. I'm having difficult interactions with some correspondents. How am I going to manage? And so I kind of fell asleep with all that on my mind. And then during the night, actually last night, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was kind of a secret agent, infiltrated in a hospital. I wasn't alone. We were a small team. We each had a little earpiece so we could stay in contact. And we were wearing white coats to blend in. And then we snuck around like that. And, well, actually, apparently, it didn't seem strange to people that we were bodyguards, doctors, whatever. It was weird. Anyway, I go over there and I approach a place where normally only staff are allowed to go. And I realized that the medical staff, actually the managers, were torturing someone. I thought to myself, this isn't normal. And really, I don't know what they were doing to him. They were sticking something into his head. I thought, no, this is horrible. We can't let this happen. Then after that, there was this tyrant who was kind of running things in the hospital. He took the people and all that. And then he said, come on, let's take him to the interrogation. Actually, it was in a room for medical purposes, but they were going there to torture him. And I followed him. I knew that I could tell I wasn't very comfortable. I felt a bit uneasy. I didn't feel right in my clothes. The nurses were saying, what's wrong? What's the matter? No, it's fine, it's fine. And then afterwards, I followed them. I was walking down a hallway, going up some stairs, and I saw that they were going to a place, then that they were taking him to a place. There you go, inside the hospital. Anyway, I woke up with a strange feeling. And it's the kind of dream you want to forget. You say to yourself, oh, that dream, it was horrible. Boo. Fortunately, it's not reality. Boo. But I got up and then I said, is there something in me? Actually, this dream, it came from me. It is a reaction to something that I experienced. What does it mean? I went to have breakfast, and then I listened to the Bible. I do that while having breakfast. And it was the story of Elijah. Do you know Elijah? Elijah, a passionate man filled with love for God. And then he had just performed an extraordinary miracle. He called down fire from heaven. Well, it was God himself who came down to prove to everyone that he exists. And the people, they said, wow, so God does exist. Then they abandoned their idols, saying to themselves, we're going to follow the true God. And then, in the end, the queen, there is a king, King Ahab, but in reality, it's the queen, his wife, who rules. She's the one who makes the decisions. Ahab says, okay, fine. Oh, really? It bothers me, but yeah, okay. Since you say so, I don't know. God knows what she did to him to make him so ready to obey her like that. Anyway, and then this queen says to him, oh, since you slaughtered my priests of Baal, who was an idol, well, I swear before my gods that I'm going to kill you by tomorrow, you'll see. So basically, death threats. So Elijah flees into the desert. He runs away, and then he's depressed because he thought there would be victories, that after the fire came down in front of everyone, everyone would believe. Then he says to himself, but all of that was for nothing. Oh no, he just couldn't take it anymore. Then, as he was heading into the desert, God sends an angel to him. who doesn't lecture him, who doesn't say, hey, no, you made a mistake. Of course it matters. Come on. He didn't send that kind of angel. He simply gave him food to strengthen him. And then he said, Elijah wasn't very hungry. He ate a little. Then the angel said, sit down. He insisted. He said, go on, eat, the journey will be long. So he ate even more. Then he walked for 40 days and 40 nights. That's a long time, isn't it? Especially in that desert. Until he reached a place. I think it's at Horeb, I'm not sure, but he arrives at a place and that's where he has an appointment with God. And then God says, I am going to present myself to you. Elijah expects to see grand things happen because there is, there's thunder, there are earthquakes, there are all sorts of manifestations of nature that appear. And God is in none of these things. He is in the gentle breeze. That's how God is able to approach people with great gentleness. And we often think, oh, we need this, we need that. Yes, sometimes miracles are needed, but we must never forget that God is someone very subtle. Then he encourages him. He tells him that there is a future, that he has even planned someone to succeed him whose name is Elisha. And then he tells him, I have 6,000 men among these people who have not bowed their knees to Baal. There are good things, It's a way of telling Elijah, you see, it wasn't all for nothing, you see. It was worth it. It was a way to encourage Elijah by telling him this is what's happening. It's not that everything was lost, you see. He thought it was all over. What's the point of asking for death? He says, no, there is still life. This story spoke to me. It spoke to me in a profound way because Elijah was there right in front of me, dramatizing his world, vividly bringing it to life, torturing himself inside, lost in his own thoughts and emotions, struggling silently. He thought he hadn't done well enough. I've put in the effort and yet, in the end, what's the point? Sometimes I think that too. I put in the effort, it's not easy. I do what I can. I try to reach as many people as possible and I tell myself it wasn't enough. Not enough people are coming to God. And so it did me good to hear that passage. And then I thought, but I'm torturing myself actually. It's me. I'm the torture factory here. It's me telling myself I'm not enough of this. I'm not enough of that. I'm like Elijah. In the whiny side, not the side that calls down fire. Hi. And actually, why not? I'm up for it. If we need to call down fire, but anyway, and I said, I declared, I refuse to let this hospital keep running like this. It's a hospital. It's meant for healing. I spoke to myself. I spoke to that part of myself that tortures me. And I said, this reign is over now, within me. It's not about judging myself. It's about healing. Now, I don't know if you understand what I mean. Because it's ourselves we torture by saying, I'm not enough of this, I'm not enough of that, I should do this, I should do that. It's ourselves we hurt. I said, now that's enough. I'm the boss. I'm the boss of my own mind here. I'm the boss of my heart. Me and Jesus, since I gave him everything. But still I have a key. It's also me who makes decisions, and often Jesus doesn't do anything until we make the decision. And I said, now that's enough. Let all the tyrants be kicked out. And I was afraid of them in my dream. But now I'm not going to be afraid because it's me. Who am I anyway? Well, I'm me, and I can decide what happens in my head. And I said, no, you're fired. I did it like this. I said it softly. I was in bed. I lay back down. Because it was early, you're fired. Now here, this is a place to be at peace, to be cared for, not a place to be tortured. That's enough. All these mechanisms inside me that destroy, I reject them. Now you're fired. When I said that, I felt a shiver go through the whole camp, like an update. So there you have it. All this to tell you that maybe you too are under a tyrant, and that tyrant is yourself, and you need to fire them. And that you can be within yourself a place where you are cared for and not tortured. Fire the tyrants within yourself. And remember that God does not side with those tyrants. What he intended was a hospital, not a torture chamber. Well, there you go. And secondly, I could tell you that it's good to listen to your dreams, because God often speaks through them. And even when it's not pleasant, well, there's still something good to be gained from it. It's good to listen to God when we read the Bible. Everything is coordinated. Everything is connected. God speaks in 1,000 ways, but to one person, and it's consistent. He doesn't say 1,000 things in every direction. He knows how to give us what we needed to hear today. And I hope that's what you heard, what you needed to hear.